Alright folks, welcome back to Malmo, and it is a pivotal game, as you can see. Champions League, the final stage of the group stage, the final game, the final round of games. In Group E, PSG raced away with it. They've dropped points in just one game away at Porto. After that come Olympiacos, who've won 2 games, both home games, Malmo ourselves and Porto, and 1 draw at ourselves, losing both ties to Paris. Porto, just the 1 win, sadly against us, Abubakar's goal, and then a draw at home to Porto. No, they are Porto. Porto drawing at home with Paris, giving them their 4 points, and ourselves a 3-2 home victory over Porto and a draw at home to Olympiacos. Leaves us with Paris St Germain to play at home in the other game in the group. It's Porto Olympiacos. We can't finish second, even though we can get to 7 points, of course. It's individual head-to-head records, and Olympiacos have drawn 0-0 with ourselves and beaten us by 3-2. So sadly, we cannot qualify from this group. What we can do is finish in 3rd place ahead of Porto, which would give us at least Europa League football, something to look forward to. Big ask though. I mean, we've got to beat Paris St Germain, or get something from Paris, and hope that Porto don't beat Olympiacos. That's the cat at the door. Maybe he's got an idea of how to play. Right then, so this is the cat. He's here against his will now. He wanted to get in, so oop, Jesus. Come on. There we go. Let's see. There we go. He's probably more tactically astute than I am, but there you go. Should we get rid of you now? I think we should get rid of him. I'll be back in a second. Apologies for that Theo cat-led interlude. But anyway, it's important today. Hopefully we can get through and finish in 3rd place. That would be fine. We've won the league. We've been drawn in our Swedish Cup against Falkenberg's Göteborg's, not proper Gothenburg, but Göteborg's AIS, and Ulmea. So, that starts in February. We've got a couple of months off if we don't. I mean, we've got a couple of months off anyway, because I think the Europa League doesn't kick back in until February. So, either way, it would just be nice to go out to this with our heads held even higher than they already are. I'll see a pitch sign in just a second with the teams. So there are the teams then. Interestingly, the loans were not terminated or did not expire for Legamina and the Icardi, so they stay with it. Even though the contract said end of the month, it must just literally be the end of our season. So this game has kept them here. They go home literally in a couple of days. So they start. Jezza stays on the bench along with Mr. Safari. PSG's side, as you'd expect, full of quality, full of expensive players, and far more terrifying talent than I can shake a stick at. Mbappe up front. No Neymar today. They're obviously thinking that they've already qualified. They could have probably played a little bit of a weaker side than this, but it is what they're going with. What should we tell them? Let's tell them we want to get revenge. That seems to have worked a treat. Let's see if we can do something against the big boys of Paris. Every seat could have been sold 4 times over, I'm sure. Let's get out there and make history and see if we can get back into the Europa League. Oh, I mean, Pastore and Mbappe not starting this game in the best of conditions. It might give us a chance. It's a bit of a leveller. But Thiago Silva, he's one clear, and Mbappe is one-on-one. Well, I mean, superbly tackled, you've got to say. I was a little bit concerned the way he dove in, but he won the ball. But Draxler now comes down this left-hand side and goes back to Meunier. Verratti now just holds up the play nicely. Rabiot just sort of drifts across the midfield. Kurzawa looks for the angle for Pastore, but Windheimer's there. He's been a good player for me. Rosenberg launches the ball, and Legamina on his goodbye. His final game for Malmo, in all likelihood. Probably won't see him back here at the club. Probably should have done a little bit better, but a difficult effort, saved well by Areola in the Paris goal. Bengtsson, nothing doing. Not much to report. Thiago Motta's gone off injured, so Lassana Diarra's come on. That's good, because he was one of their fitter players, Motta. So it does mean that they're going to be forced into changes probably sooner than later. I'd be amazed if Pastore makes it through the game. And here is Pastore, but that's a loose ball and equally loose. Neither side really holding the ball particularly well, but you'd expect Paris to be able to deal with it better. We're really up for the tackle, though. You can see on the left-hand side, though, Porto must be beating Olympiacos. Porto are at home. It is a big ask, even if we can do the unthinkable here today and secure something against Paris. You know, you'd expect Porto to be able to beat Olympiacos. It's probably a little bit of a failing on their part that they've allowed Olympiacos to get ahead of them. Windheim down this. The cat's trying to get in again. Like, I mean, the head's down. I thought Sam Tramberg was going to get there. Oh, and Bashiru should have done better. Snatched at it instinctively, but put it just wide of the post. Corner ball now, still inside the first half. Levicki, Bashiru, Legumina on his goodbye. He scores against Paris St Germain. And you can see there what difference it makes to the table. We find ourselves equal on 7 points with the 3 teams above us, but we finish bottom on the virtue of the fact that we have got an inferior record, seemingly, against the other sides. Although 1-0 defeat to Porto and a 3-2 home victory, it perhaps does come down to goal difference that we will go out on here. So I think we have to tell the boys, don't be complacent. I mean, it's been a fabulous display. We've bossed the game against Paris. They've not looked themselves. Probably expected a little bit of tiredness on their side and not a full strength side, although massively higher quality than ours. Marquinhos picking up this ball, and it comes out to Draxler and Verratti, and Bashiru steps in there. He's screened the play well. Rosenberg left now to Legumina, plays it off his back. I mean, this is a complete mess. Rosenberg's about 40 miles offside. Why he would run it and celebrate, I'm not quite sure. But offside it was. Good instinctive play, though. And you can see Strandberg's having another one of his great games. He's not going to be long for this game if he doesn't buck his ideas up. As Benaku brings his play down, Bengtsson goes back to Darlin in net, and Bengtsson again. Goes across field, and Rosenberg brings it under his spell. What can he do here? Goes to Levicki. Oh, just over the crossbar. I thought Oscar Levicki was going to get another long-range effort. Corner now, Verratti swings it across, it's headed away, but PSG keep it, and Mbappe drills one at goal, and Darlin tips it over the crossbar. PSG getting closer, a little bit more fluent, and Verratti takes the resulting corner, but Benaku gets there. Can he retrieve his knockdown? He can't, but Levicki clears the ball away now. Rosenberg just keeps it in play on the far side. Long ball towards Legumina, who gets it back from Levicki. Levicki again, pulling all the strings. Not this time, though. Kurzawa steps in and releases Mbappe. He's got a long way to go, but he does it, and Darlin's there to deny him again. Brawson brings it away. I think we make a change. I think a nervous Strandberg in the middle. He's just not acting on instinct. We're going to get the Jezza on. That's Alexander Yeremiev, of course, making his stepping up his return from injury. Benaku heads clear at the near post from the corner. Verratti keeps it in play and goes all the way across now. Kurzawa on this left side. A player we could dream of. Oh, but we profit from that little deflection. Legumina to Benaku. Tries to send Levicki away, but that's not really the kind of play we're looking for. We're not going to get Levicki in on that side. He's not a winger by any stretch. And Rabiot releases Mbappe. Surely this time one of Mbappe's worst ever strikes. But the chances are coming, and that's the problem. Even a lower strength PSG side is more than capable of putting us to the sword. 5-2, of course, don't forget, the first meeting finished. And this game's certainly not done, as Mbappe starting to get more involved in the play. But that's a good toe in from Bengtsson, and we recover the ball. Guilty of overplaying, though, but we're more than capable of winning it back as Rosenberg brings it down on this right side. Crosses, Jezza's looking for it, but doesn't get there. Windheim, Rosenberg again, strikes, but deflected. Kurzawa collects the ball, clears it only as far as Windheim, who heads it down to Bashiru. Jezza inside, Rosenberg, Levicki. Oh, he scores, it's 2-0, Malmo 2, Paris St Germain 0. We're off and running here. What a shame. It's probably going to be all in vain, but at least it's... Well, I mean, I said this at 2-0 last time, didn't I? So I need to be mindful, but at least we get money, £1.4-ish million for a victory in this competition is not to be sneezed at. Effectively, that's... Well, I mean, it's many weeks' budget for us. I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring on Larson for Windheim and just leave it at that. A little bit concerned about the number of cards we've picked up. See, there still means we finish outside of the top 3. As Kurzawa keeps the ball there. I thought we'd won it back, but Thiago Silva clears. Mbappe loose this time. Levicki collects, and we look a little bit comfortable. Long ball. Rosenberg heads down. Thiago Silva deals with it. Bashiru was certainly giving him a game. Levicki, Bashiru, Larson now substitutes. Crosses. Thought Rosenberg might have got there, but it wasn't to be. And well, they get a chance from a goal kick. Or rather a drop kick. Mbappe left now to Draxler. Crosses and Mbappe gets the goal. Probably deserved. He's had many chances and he's got one back. We never really got set from, well, that turnover of play when we just crossed the ball into Areola's hands. Quite straightforward goal. We never picked him up. He got between the defenders. And you can't be allowing Kylian Mbappe that kind of space and time. And we don't want to be doing that. I need to stop talking whenever we take a 2-goal lead. Ben Arfa, of all people. And a corner for Paris St Germain. That was a big chance, so good bodies on the line. I can't make any further changes at this point because, quite simply, if I do that, we weaken the side in terms of experience and fitness. So, William, Ben Arfa, Meunier. Nothing coming. I don't know why we looked at it. Larson. Interesting throw in because it really put us under pressure. Levicki, all his play spaces on the left side, and that's where it comes now. Benaku, ball down the flank to Lagamina. I'd have preferred it if he'd crossed the ball, but he shot, and Areola comfortably claims it. You can see the fitness of these lads, and it's ourselves who pick up the knock, so we weren't going to make any changes. Sadly, Fawood Bashira forces our hand. We'll bring on Alex Peterson, or Pettersson. We'll let the play continue. Kurzawa. That's not bad. Jezza sends it on. Oh, Lagamina, his final touch. No. Areola saves it. We've had good chances, 4 clear cuts apiece. We're certainly giving our all in this game. Levicki drills one into the hoardings about 20 yards wide as it ended up. And Areola takes the resulting goal kick. There's action all over. Brawson heads on, but we can't clear it. We can. Jezza, never giving it up. Lagamina. Rosenberg. Tackled. Couldn't get the ball away. And PSG shirts flooding forward, the dark blue. And, Brawson heads it away, and Rosenberg, can we get going here? Peterson ends up with Jezza. Lagamina! And saved again. Antonino Lagamina could have had a hat-trick today. But he's only got the one. And then we have to be happy with that, to be honest. Oh dear. Verratti. Lots of space to run into if he can execute this well. But a fantastic recovery challenge from Oscar Levicki yet again. But play will continue. There's more to see. Rabiot. Kurzawa. Marquinhos on the edge of the penalty area, but well held by Darlin. And that's the end of that moment. 5 minutes has gone up on the board. Larson's throw in. Levicki. Jezza onside, was he? Not sure, he might have. Apparently he was. Was that a... I mean, it was given it, I think, as a clear cut, but I'm not sure it was the whole opportunity of that highlight. Brawson, not a great ball. Pettersson gets a toe on that, or rather it hit him. Oh, and a really poor ball. And it means that Paris, that's what I was going to say. Oh, it's poor balls all around. I mean, this could be anything now. Nielsen, Darling clears, so we need to win this in the air if we can. We sort of do. Benaku, Jezza lays it on Gamina, and he scores on his final few minutes of his game. For Malmo, he signs off with another goal. Antonino Lagamina, what a lone sign, and he was. Bit of a panic agreement, if I'm being perfectly honest, but it's paid off nicely. Lagamina drills that beyond Areola and surely gives us the 3-1 victory over Paris St Germain. I said that now, haven't I? Surely gives us at least a victory, or a better chance of victory over Paris St Germain. It won't come around too often. Yes, it's not the full strength PSG side, but it is a PSG side, no question. Ben Arfa, Rabiot, and crowded out, but they recover the ball. Ben Arfa crosses Draxler. Great save by Darlin. Got there. Could have probably put it in with a better contact, but Darlin never gave it up and got across well. And Mbappe, he's been dangerous all game, and he gets a second, 3-2 with barely minutes to play. We're going to tell the boys to concentrate. Let's get on. We need to move this on. There's seconds to go. We've already played a minute over. I can't imagine they celebrated for a minute over that. And surely, yes, we've won the game by 3-2. A huge, huge statement victory. Even though, yes, we didn't qualify. We finished bottom of our group. You know, that's Group E there. You can see 7 points. PSG finishing top on 13. Olympiacos, Porto and Malmo all with 7. So being knocked out on literally we had the same record as a team going through to the next knockout round. That gives us great hope. I'm sure you'll agree. Yes, a few players that we're trying to do deals for. I may as well show you now. Gökhan Gül, we're trying to bring in these players on loan for 2 years is the idea. These players will definitely raise the quality. This Aurelien Mangala, if we can get him, then the world is our oyster. And obviously Zlatan. We try every now and then. His contract is up in the summer. He still feels it would be a poor career move. I mean, it is to go from Man United to the Allsvenskan, but the chance to play for me in Sweden, with Malmo. Think about it, Zlat. Think about it. It's a dream. So that is all of our football. Our next game, as you can see, is in 73 days. So I think what we'll do is we'll look to come back around the start of the new season. We'll look at any transfer dealings. There should be quite a few. Hopefully quite a few ins and outs. We'll address where we think we need to address and cover a lot of the weaknesses of the team. Let me know in the comments who you think we should let go, who you think we should retain, who you think we should sign, if anyone. Maybe you're happy with the team. I'm not, but you might have an opinion that way. Do pop a like on there for me. A fine victory over PSG, although it counted for little in the end. Never mind. And subscribe as well if you haven't already. I'll look forward to seeing you again for the start of Season 2. Can't wait for that. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye.